Hello, welcome back to Property with Marco. Today we're going to talk about how to actually start investing in property. I know in my previous videos we've spoken all about property investing, but today we're specifically going to talk about how to start and give you actionable tips to start in your property journey. So, number one, you need to develop your strategy. Really, really important. Don't do anything until you've developed your investing strategy. Now, this is really important because if you don't do this, everything else you do has no purpose, it has no direction, you don't even know what you want to achieve. And I suggest sitting down with someone who's actually done this before and putting a strategy together. And putting one that's very unique to you. Everyone's going to have different strategies, everyone's going to have different tactics, but your property strategy and your property tactic needs to suit your lifestyle, it needs to suit what income you want, and it needs to suit what you enjoy and what you like doing. So again, what I'd recommend doing is speaking with someone who's got experience in property, and they can maybe ask you a couple of questions, get a better idea of what you want, and maybe suggest a couple of strategies and tactics for you. So that's number one. You need to really identify what strategy and why you want to get into property. Because if you start pursuing property for the wrong reasons, it's not going to be fun, you're not going to enjoy it, and you probably won't make any money. So it's really important that you know what you're doing and you enjoy the process as well. Property is not a quick win. It takes time, it takes resilience, it takes persistence to actually be successful. Now, of course, I'm more than happy to go through the strategy with yourself. I'm more than happy to share my strategy as well and my tactics about how I actually invest in property and further accelerate my portfolio growth. And if you look in the description, you'll be able to find the link to my website. And I coach several people on how to get into property, and we can certainly put together your strategy for you. I can give you all the actionable steps, the guides, and the tactics to make sure you can do everything you can to be successful in investing in property. So we've got our strategy aside. I'm going to say, for example, let's say our strategy is to generate monthly cash flow. And why do we want to do this? Well, maybe you want to replace your job. Maybe you're working 9 till 5 and you don't want to be working 9 till 5. You want the freedom to choose what you want to do in your life, but you still want that income. You don't want to lose that income that you're generating at the moment. So really your goal is to build a portfolio that it completely replaces your income and you don't have to work 9 till 5 and you can be your own boss. That is a lot of people's goal. And it's not necessarily earning bags and bags of cash. It could be just replacing a salary or even slightly less than your salary. You're willing to earn less, but to have a greater freedom and flexibility in your lifestyle. That was certainly my motive to get into property, and I know it's a lot of other people's motives. So that's one strategy we've discussed. Now, again, to get started in property, a lot of people think that you need finance or money or funds, which is the second thing we're going to be talking about today. That's definitely not true. In my case, I'd saved up a little bit over my FTSE 100 job over the several years, and I had a small loan from family. But this isn't the case. You don't have to rely on that. If you really want to get into property and you're serious about it, and you come across deals that have sufficient margins, 30, 40% margins, then there's no reason why you can't borrow someone else's money to make that happen. Again, speak to me, I can tell you exactly how to do this. I can give you the templates, the guides, and the processes to actually do this. It's not as difficult as you think. A lot of people think, who do I know that's got money? You'll be pleasantly surprised. I can guarantee within your network, there are at least a handful of people that have the money that you want. It's just about getting them to lend it to you. And of course, you need the right training and confidence in your backing to ensure that property deal is actually successful. So we've talking about strategy, we've talking about finance. Next, we need to talk about how to actually start in property, the operations side. Well, very simply, we've got to find property first, that's number one. Then we've got to view property. Then we've got to offer on a property. We've got to get an offer accepted. Once the offer is accepted, we've got to follow that through all the way to completion. And at either of those steps, the deal can fall through. So for example, you could actually have an offer rejected, in which case you're going nowhere. Or you could have an offer accepted, but maybe it falls through in the legal process somewhere. And again, you've got to start all over again. So we've got to follow through each step and make sure we're actually following all the way through from viewing a property to completing on a property. Now, of course, you will the majority of properties you'll view, you will not complete on. I'm trying to think of the stat. I don't have my spreadsheet open at the moment, but at the moment now, I'm actually completing on about one property for every 40 viewings, which tells you a few things. It tells you, first of all, at the moment, the market is quite crazy, and it's very, very difficult to hit my very strict and high return on investment figures. But it also shows you that I'm persistent. I don't give up just because I've had 39 rejections. I keep on going. So if you need help starting into property, go to the description, click on my website, book a call with me. I'm happy to help, and I'd really take pleasure in introducing you into property and helping you achieve whatever it is you want to achieve on your property journey. And before you leave me today, please, please, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps. It helps the algorithm. And you're going to have lots of interesting property videos coming very shortly. Take care.